Hello, 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 and good evening. Bit later than advertised, but here we are. Just trying to sort my microphone out a little bit. Okay. Problem I have. There we go. Hello, hello, later than originally planned. I know I said I was going to be live yesterday, but I was super tired. What? That's quite an awesome little emote there. Nice little way to start us off the stream. A random gifted sub to Rose for 6 whole months. That's awesome. Thank you very much. So here we are. As I say, a little bit later than originally planned. Due to, as I say, being like really tired. Yesterday, so I did a lot of sleeping, a lot of resting, and here we are. We're back. So now, first and foremost, we need to go to. Let's go back to the Crystarium because I need to sort out my retainers. And I want to go over to the Crystalline Mine. So let me just sort out. There we go. Okay. To the summoning bell. Anyone on? Oh. Misty's on. Let's say hello. Hola. So we've had some sales on this one. 28k. Nice, nice. So I did have 1,000,000 gil. And I've spent it all on leveling up one of the trade skills. Because like a fool, I've put all the trade skills on this one character at the moment. And I think my highest one... There we go. Alchemist and Armourer are my highest. $98k there. Excellent. You can go back there. Ginola. 97 grand there. Nice. Nothing sold on this guy. You're crap. Small sale there. No sales on that one. And last but not least, bear. So I've just got an achievement which gave me 1,000 gil. Venture capital. Right, okay, so was so what I also need to do now as well is you need to go to New Gridania. So okay, so that level 20 mission ended in failure. But they've all leveled up. Excuse me. So my alchemist is now level 50. So let's see, we want them. Righty-ho then. We're off to do some little bit of shopping. Mwahahaha. Boop, 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 boop. So hopefully the free company amount we can buy or go into the lottery for free company housing. So let's see. So we want an oak composite bow, 25 grand. Oof, I could probably make it myself. And a wrapped steel claw hammer. Okay, we're not getting one of them. Cobalt plated jackboots. 14 grand. Probably make them myself as well. Pearl. Oh, can't even spell. Pearl ring. Nope. Okay. Horse skin. Thigh boots. 30 grand. No, thank you. Don't actually really need to do this, but it's, as I said the other day, it gets me XP for each of the crafting professions that I do, so there's that way. Oh god, Jesus Christ, man. That needs to be 3, so that's no good to me. Raw turquoise. I need 10. Why, thank you very much. Tarantula. Ew. We need 10 of them. Oh, I'm not buying 40 of them, sod it. Shadow catfish. Let's see. Really? Oreo cookies too? Wow. Maybe he's not then, eh? So I'm gonna deposit another 100 grand. Just like that. Do do do. There we go. Right. Use the market receipt to collect Passard's purchases. Actually. Do our cactus pot. Nice. Boo. We could have gone for 10 grand there, but you know. Oh well. Okay, let's do a chocobo race. Got no sessions available. Okay. And to race. Do 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 do. That'll do. My god, I'm down to half my stamina already. I got absolutely shafted there. Oh my god, I'm finishing last. Outrageous. before we do that, is there a... Whoops. There we go. Excuse me. That's a bit daft, isn't it? Into the home stretch. No. Right, so we need stamina. And we go again. Oh, excuse me. Oh, is it ideal weather for this chocobo? No, it's not. Yes. Eesh. Let's go. Hey, Vince. How are we doing? How's things, dude? Right. Job done there. Right. What am I doing? Okay, 1. Two. Right, so I've got to find Thaltho. There he is, Thaltol. Bada bing, bada boom. Iron ore, isn't it, I think? Yeah, there we go. Right, here you go, Cassard. Yes, I've been around the entire market already, because I'm that good. Nope, definitely not a stranger to visiting strange lands. That was all, of course, confusion over one of the orders he's placed. And guess what? I've got to go and sort it out. She knows who I am. Oh, Alice's told her so much about me, eh? Not everything I owe. Way. So this is Tesla, and she's a carer at the inn, and she's gotten to know Alice quite well since she took up guard duties there. Okay. So this one's going to take over as being my guide now, it seems. Right, Cassard, thanks very much, mate. Bada bing, ba boom. Right, Tesleen. Where are we going, love? Round the ridge, head south. Right, okay. Gotta meet her outside now. Oh, mention of wildlife. Here we go. Local coyotes have learned to prey on folk heading home from the markets. So basically, I've now got to fend off anything that comes at us. And now, right, yo. So, I am currently playing as a tank, but not your typical tank. I am a gunbreaker, level 75 gunbreaker. So if you've played, so gunbreaker is basically the class that Squall is from Final Fantasy VIII. But as a tank, and obviously with being a tank, I wear plate armor, heavy armor. So at the moment, we're going around and we're doing the main storyline quest for the Shadowbringers expansion. So we're essentially working my way up to and through the current expansion of Final Fantasy XIV, which is Dawn Trail. So we're currently in an unknown land. We've been teleported from the character's normal realm, the home realm, if you will, of Eorzea. And we're in an area that is essentially devoid of, or is becoming devoid of light, or becoming devoid of shadow. I think it's becoming devoid of shadow. So even nighttime looks, you know, it's like it's daytime. And as a result, time also works differently here as well. So a character teleported my character and the rest of my party at the same time. However, it's ended up a bit like Thor Ragnarok, in the scene where in Thor Ragnarok they are going through the Bifrost after Hela arrives, and both Thor and Loki end up on Warworld on the planet Sakaar. However, when Thor arrives, even though they got displaced at the same time, in the film Thor arrives 3 weeks after Loki. So with in regards to this, I've arrived in some cases like 3 years after one of the other group has arrived. So because of that time displacement, they've basically set up, they've established roots in this world, if you will. So I'm now basically working my way to meet back up with my friends, basically, is the way to put it. So the first one we're going to is, we're looking for a character called Alice, who is the twin sister of another character called Alphinaud. So we've now got to look for signs of Alice near the derrick. So these here are basically big teleportation crystals that you have to attune yourself to. So, and it then allows you to teleport freely, but at the same time, we also need to be on the lookout for what is called aether currents. And once we collect all of the aether currents, that will then allow us to be able to fly in this particular area. So it said it was 222 yards south. There it is. So we need to collect these things as well. And then once we've got all of them, so we've got one already, so we need to get another 8 in total. Now some of them will be given as quest rewards, but while we're on our travels, we need to collect as many of them as possible. So now we're looking, as I say, we're looking for signs of Alice. Oh. Basically, I've got to get the band, back together, as it were. So Alice is nowhere to be seen. We spot fresh footprints, and it looks to be about Alice's size. Okay. It's Final Fantasy, and you know, the story is massive, massive. So we've also got ourselves a little companion chocobo as well. Wearing some interesting barding. But this chocobo basically helps us during a fight as well. So we can actually change that. It is basically that. It is that, you know, it is in that style of game. Get back on the bike. They are actually doing a graphics overhaul on this at the moment as well. So as they release more content and more expansions, there's going to be a lot of graphical updates as well that come along with it. There's more tracks. Here we go. Cutscene time. There's no way she's up there.
Get back here! Is that... It can't be.
So this is who we're coming to meet up with. This is one of the party. And she's just killed what is called a Sin Eater. Which, surprisingly, seems to be a nod to Final Fantasy X.
Just a lesser sin eater. Nothing to write home about. I knew you'd turn up sooner or later, but I had been hoping for sooner. How are you?
So there are quite a few subtle nods to
We fought them to a standstill then.
the other Final Fantasy games.
The Exarch did say that the Empire seemed to have drawn back when he last looked in on the source. But without knowing for sure how fast time was passing there, I couldn't help worrying that a lot might have happened since then. I'm heartily relieved to hear that it hasn't, just as Alphino must have been. As you can imagine, both
All dead.
They were desperate to hear the news from home when I arrived. I haven't actually seen Thancred and Y'shtola yet, but they will have heard all the latest developments from the Exarch by now, or should have at least. When I think of how frantic Tataru and the others must be, I want nothing more than to rush back and reassure them. But we still haven't found a way to reverse the summoning. And even if we had, we couldn't just ignore Urianger's vision.
There's actually, strangely enough,
He may use 10 words where one would suffice, and they may often obscure as much as they reveal. But on this matter,
some
I
well-known
cannot for one moment that he saw what he
voice actors throughout this game as well.
Nor how difficult it must have been to speak about them. The 8th Umbral Calamity and your death aren't exactly topics for idle conversation. As much as I might want to go home, I don't want to go home to that. We can't allow the rejoining to happen, which means we have to save the first from the Sin Eaters. That great wall of white is a remnant of the flood. 100 years ago, the balance in the first tipped decisively in favor of light. From that moment, it rose and swelled with each passing day.
Let's see.
And then, without warning, it burst forth like water from a broken dam. A colossal wave of pure light, drowning everything in its wake. Only Norvrant was spared. For the most part, living things are composed of ether of various different aspects. But when exposed to such a flood, their etheric harmony is shattered, and their natural form breaks down. Then they either perish, or are warped into mindless abominations. Yes, that's how the Sin Eaters came to be. They were once living creatures, or people, that were caught in the path of the flood. Once the change is wrought, there is no going back. In that instant, they are gripped by an insatiable appetite for ether, and will happily gorge themselves on any living thing within reach. But even that is not the worst of it. The stronger Sin Eaters can plant light in us, like seeds in soil, corrupting our ether, and triggering the birth of new monstrosities. They are creatures of base instinct, that exist only to feed and to multiply. They feel no pity, know no remorse, and are utterly deaf to reason. Which is why they must be destroyed. Every last one of them.
Fair enough. Can't argue with that.
The infirmary is full of the Sin Eaters' victims, left here to spend their final hours waiting for the change to overtake them.
Master Town for more for some. Oh. Right, matter of time. More for some, less for others. Patients will all become monsters in the end. Lovely. And to add insult to injury, the afflicted are feared, shunned, cast out of society, and exiled here to the edge of the world. That's a bit shit. The only good thing to say about this hellish place is that it served it well enough as a training ground. Tesley and others have also been kind enough to share knowledge of the Sin Eaters, which is knowledge you can now share with me. Well, I help her finish her patrol, of course. Of course. Right. Oh. The one thing with this game as well is it doesn't actually have damage meters like World of Warcraft does. And it also doesn't allow for any add-ons. Basically, yes. So the way this has been designed is how it appears Ian Hodges, or whatever his name is, a Blizzard wants to turn WoW into, so to speak. In that everything you need is within the game. So you don't need to go for third-party add-ons and stuff, such like that. The other thing as well that I found is that the community is really, really helpful. Not toxic. You know, if you're going through like the earlier dungeons like I've done most of, you know, they know that you're sort of new to the game, so they don't, you know, if you make mistakes, they don't call you out on them. They just say, right, okay, so what you did there was this, so do this instead. Plus it also has like a community section that you can join called the Novice Network, which is basically full of people that have been playing the game for quite some time who are in a position to be able to give you pointers. So if you're stuck on something or you don't know where to go for something, they can tell you what you need to look for. Or if you need help with a dungeon, they can jump in, you know, you can group up with them and jump into a dungeon with them. But another thing as well is that while you're doing the main storyline quest, a lot of the dungeons that you go into as a part of the story have actually got NPCs, so you can basically do the dungeon solo with NPCs filling the other slots, and it doesn't mess it actually works quite well. It's actually really good. I mean, yeah, I mean, the one thing you can't do is you can't do like mass. You know, you can't run halfway through an instance and tank all the mobs while the rest of your group, you know, smashes them down and your healer keeps you alive. You can't do that. You know, you do have to take your time, which isn't a bad thing, especially when you're a newish player or a returning player like I am, where you might need to get up to, you know, if you need to go to the bathroom, or if you know, you want to put the kettle on and make a cup of tea or coffee, you can actually do that because you have like a 2-hour timer to complete a dungeon. So you can go AFK whenever you want in that dungeon and not have to worry about other players, in the sense that, like, say I grouped up with, say, 3 other people now for a dungeon, and then all of a sudden I get a phone call, or, you know, I really need to go to the bathroom because I've got an upset stomach, or I want to make a cup of tea. I don't have to say to them, "Oh, give me 5 minutes while I go make a cup of tea." I can just go, "Do you know what? I'm going to make myself a brew." And you can, you know, just get up, go make your brew, come back, and, you know, you carry on again. Plus, you do get some decent loot out of it as well, even doing it that way. And, you know, I think it's a really good way of doing it. Alright, no worries. No worries. So that's that quest done. And this is gonna be useless because I've actually already got a better headpiece. Surprise, surprise. But we can smush it down. There we go. Right, so she'd love to lay out a welcome meal, but duties put off when she went to the markets are still waiting. 101 things need doing. So I've got to wait here with Alice, say. Q fetch quest. Pornell, Todden, Holrick we've got to look at. Okay, so we've checked on those three. How were they? Ups, down, depressed, upset? Take your pick. Maud Soak. Speak with Ron. You do Ron. You do Ron. Honeyed worms. Ugh. It's gonna be a bit of a botch.
Look, over there, where the wall is broken. Do you see what lies beyond? That's what the land became after the light flooded in. An empty white nothingness. Life cannot exist in such conditions. The primordial light would wreak havoc on the body's etheric balance. That nectarine you bought, it's Halric's favorite fruit. Most of the patients, Halric included, survived the attacks of powerful eaters. But their fate was sealed all the same. The monster's corruption has entered their bodies, and their very essence is being subsumed by light. The twisted state of the world itself just makes matters worse. Under normal circumstances, a person's ether naturally tends to equilibrium. But for these poor souls, the opposite is true. Sooner or later, every single one of them will turn. Tesleen and the patients, they all know this. They know what has to be done before the change goes too far, before the eater within takes over. The preferred method is mixing poison into their favorite food. In my time here, I've borne witness to a lot of last meals. I feel just as helpless as before. No matter how hard I fight, it's never enough. But it's a war I mean to wage, nonetheless. Speaking of wars, do you remember how I made you promise not to leave me and then promptly collapsed? Well, let's just say I had a few choice words for the Exarch concerning the timing of his summons. But even if the fault lay with someone else, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd abandon you on the battlefield. So I swore that I'd make up for my absence there by making a difference here. And that's what keeps me moving forward, even when things seem hopeless. On which note, it's time we headed back. The longer we keep Tesleen waiting, the harder this will be for her.
Right. Okay, that's not gonna happen.
Speak up if you'd like another helping. I made a little bit more than usual today.
And you've added something special to the broth, if I'm not mistaken.
Aye, well, it's not often we have visitors from the Crystarium, so I may have thrown in a few extra bits and bobs.
Go on, let's have seconds.
That's what I like to hear. Give me a moment to warm up the pot. In a place like this, you learn to take what moments of happiness you can get. I remember when I first came here with my mother. She was showing the early signs. I knew there was no way to save her, but I just couldn't face what needed to be done. That's the way of it for most people. Why they travel from arms to stay here. Beaten, broken souls come to wait out the inevitable, to receive the mercy of a painless death. When my mother finally left this world, I was mad with grief, but also thankful that her passing was a peaceful one. It's never easy, ending a life you've cared for, even when you believe they go on to a better place. I often find myself wishing the Warrior of Darkness would come and do that part for me.
The Warrior of Darkness?
You've never heard the tale? I'm not sure where it began, but every child in Norvrent could tell you a version of it. Warrior of Darkness, servant of death, take care of our souls at our dying breath. Let sinners and eaters of sin go with thee, that all may return to the sunless sea. Well, that's the version I was taught anyway. It's just an old bedtime story. He's certainly never deigned to visit us here.
Which is a good thing, surely. He sounds rather ominous.
Do you think so? I always liked the idea that he treated every soul the same, even the Sin Eaters.
They're coming.
Desleen! Have you seen Halric? I swear, I only took my eyes off him for a moment.
Uh-oh. Gotta go and look for Halric. Ah, oh, itchy foot. Oh, excuse me.
Any sign of him? No luck then. But he surely can't have gone far. We should keep looking. The Sin Eaters are out in force, and if we don't find him soon, you can be sure they will.
Oh, hello. She's different.
Did you see the size of that thing? It must be one of the nasty ones. Wherever it's going, it can only mean trouble. After it! There it is! Is that... Oh no! Ulrich! We have to run!
Oh.
Tesseline! No!
Plot twist.
We all deserve happiness, wherever we can find it. The time left to you is precious. No one should die in pain. Mother, I...
Sounds of a gob opening up there. The hell?
No, 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 no!
Bum bum bum. Level 76. I'm gonna call it there for now, everybody, anyway. So, catch you all again soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening.